Hey guys, what's up? Stock Retail coming back to you on a Friday. Happy Friday evening if you're on the East Coast. Happy Friday afternoon over here on the West Coast. Happy whatever day and time when you are seeing this all around the world. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope it's been a great week. Um, Man, let's actually just get right to it. AMC had a huge announcement today, and you might be saying, well, wait a sec, then why is this your cover slide? I don't want to just kind of gloss over and forget, how Demon Slayer Infinity Castle has been doing. Hopefully, many of you have seen that and loved it. Some of you may go see it this weekend. It's only the second weekend. It is just crushing it, setting all kinds of records for anime, R-rated cartoon, um, uh, international movie, just absolutely crushing it. Crunchyroll and Sony must be thrilled. I have been told by several friends that I've got to go see this. With apologies to everyone, I have not seen this movie yet, so I'm going to get out to see that soon. But doing great. And what a gift this was in our September. A lot of us thought it was going to be a slower September, but Demon Slayer just crushing it and helping kind of add some revenue back into the quarter as September rounds out Q3. Maybe real quick, that reminds me, a couple topics I'm not going to cover in today's video, but just exciting to see. So maybe I'll hit those real quick. Hycroft has been obviously doing very well at a 1 year high, I think, as of the close today. And if you don't recall, if you follow me on X, you've seen I get trolled every time I post about it. It's hilarious, and it's the same attempt at an argument every time. Well, isn't AMC down on Hycroft? Why are you even talking about it? But you'll recall, if you followed me enough, the accounting rules on a company owning another company's stock. So what happens is within the quarter, if it's up, you get to count that basically as revenue. So you're going to see the gains on the Hycroft stock. Don't forget, we have National Cinemedia, so NCMI is that ticker. That has been up lately too. So AMC is going to report some extra revenue just on those stocks going up. That is awesome. Love to see it. So, all right, speaking of love to see it, what a huge announcement today. Happened fast, super exciting. We get Taylor Swift 2.0. Now, gosh, we remember how big that was last year, the Eras Tour, how massive that was, how Swifties showed up at not just AMC, but other theaters. And how if you missed, Adam announced. Go find Adam's post on X or wherever you like to get your information. But Adam announced that is through AMC distribution. So that's why I'm calling this Taylor Swift 2.0. AMC will be the distributor of this launch event for Taylor for her Party of a Showgirl, new album. It's a whole launch event. You can see theaters October 3rd through 5th. Very interesting timing, obviously, with the warrants coming out for GameStop. If you missed my last video, I went in detail about the warrants. Take a look at that. And so same timing on that. And just obviously, I mean, a party is the right term here, because this is adding sudden surprising revenue for AMC that I had not forecast previously, and I didn't know this was coming. And then, not only can we count on whatever you think the box office is for this and the normal take for AMC, but what happened last time around is AMC got a higher market share than usual because Swifties kind of just associated Taylor and AMC, so that's awesome. But then, of course, AMC also gets a distribution cut. So if it shows at competitor theaters, AMC is getting a piece of that revenue as well. So it's just very profitable for AMC to have this, and just very, very exciting to see. Something don't miss was interesting. If you saw, Adam posted a day or two ago. Sorry, it's been a very busy week. My mind's a little blurry. I think that was 2 days ago. The sad passing of Robert Redford, but Adam had specifically highlighted that he was 89. And then I noticed today that the Taylor Swift film here is going to be 89 minutes. Of course, 89, a bit of a nod to her and her birth in 89. But just, I'll kind of tip my hat to, there is a version of a decode of that actually ties to something very special and personal for me. No, I'm not saying that this has anything to do with me. It clearly does not, but just it was fun for me to see. Then, so just don't miss that 89 tie. There clearly is maybe something there. Then interesting, just kind of another sort of exciting thing to see, that if you got online today for this, you would have been put in a waiting you would have been put in line while you were online. There's a queue because you can see mine here this is literally from my screen less than a minute, but there were other people who I know this was longer this morning, um, and so I had just gotten on to get this screenshot and had to wait in line just to get the screenshot. So very cool. Just awesome to see something that's going to help AMC so much. Awesome to see revenue pouring in as part of our fight. And Q4 was already really big. Before the end of this video, I'm going to talk about maybe what does this mean to Q4 and kind of adjusting my forecasts. But here's what's even more exciting that I don't think probably everybody thought about right away. And I did post about this on X today. So this is a huge announcement, right? This is a big, big deal. But remember a couple weeks ago, so I guess September 1st, it's shown right here. Adam was on a podcast. Go listen to that if you haven't yet. I thought it was a pretty good interview. Perhaps a little bit combative at time, but it was playful, and I thought it was fun, and I thought Adam availed himself very well, shared some great information. But there was a nugget in that. Remember that Adam actually said in the middle of that podcast that he has perhaps the biggest announcement we've had. I almost want to say he said ever. I can't quote that because it's been a few weeks since I've listened, but I know he said maybe the biggest announcement, at least of the last few years, whatever it was, his exact language. But the point is there's a huge announcement he said was coming in January or February, and that he kind of couldn't, say anything about that just yet. Well, I'm assuming then these are two separate announcements. Now, you heard the word assuming, right? So I'm speculating that this Taylor thing didn't all of a sudden get pulled up from January to October. I'm going to assume this has been planned all along, and Adam was just tight-lipped about it. So that what I'm saying that you should be excited about is we have the Taylor Swift announcement. That's going to bring all this revenue and market share and merch sales and all of that. It's going to be awesome for AMC. And this is maybe not even the huge announcement that's to come. So we still have more to look forward to, and interesting to see, what is the chef cooking. So I've said before, let the man cook. Well, he's delivering some very exciting things for AMC. So thank you, Adam. Appreciate that. So I said I would say what does this mean kind of to Q4? This is just the latest forecast. This is not any kind of final forecast. It's not a number I'm publishing. Right now, I do believe this will be the first quarter we would have had since 2019. So the first quarter of the entire ape era, post-COVID era, retail era, whatever you want to call it, that would be above 2.8 billion at the domestic box office. So big step that you're hearing me say I believe will be above 2.8. We have not done that yet. So that would be the biggest quarter in 6 years. And now Taylor Swift adding this distribution and merchandise revenue. I'm going to assume, so here's another assumption, that AMC will have some merch. Hopefully this has been planned. We'll see. But certainly for the Eras tour, there was a ton of merch. And so more revenue there. That's awesome. Because this is the biggest quarter we have had yet, and on top of that, having Taylor, this is clearly positive cash flows, but you can see I'm saying positive cash flow with a plus sign. So we already had positive cash flows a few different quarters, right? We had a couple in 2023. We had this one most recently. Q2 was positive cash flow. And so this being an even bigger quarter with also the Taylor launch, being distributed by AMC, very, very good outlook on cash flows for Q4. And then I think, right now I would say that we're going to have positive net income. I believe that is going to happen. I'm not going to put a number to that yet, but let's just say in the tens of millions, somewhere up there. And perhaps as the quarter goes, if we start climbing, I may get bigger from there. Let's see. But so I think we'll have positive net income. We've only done that a couple times. I always reference back to the Barbenheimer quarter and the Mario quarter and all of that. We had positive net income before. Those were pretty small. One was like 8 million, one was 12 million. That's just the bottom line, guys. I'm saying so positive cash flow is a little easier to achieve than positive net income, because if you followed me for a while, I've talked about we have some non-cash expenses, depreciation being one. There's a few others that get taken out. And so positive bottom line and positive cash flows would just be an awesome quarter, a great way to end the year. And then reminder on the final 9 months combined, the final 3 quarters combined. So Q2, Q3, Q4, if you mushed them together and called that one 9-month period, that we have positive cash flow. I've said that for about a year now, maybe. I don't actually remember the first time I said it. It's been that long. but I know I said it before Adam and Sean, and then Adam and Sean later came out and they also started saying that. And so the final 9 months combined being positive cash flows, some people have misunderstood me and thought I meant like literally every month or literally every quarter. No, that's not what I said. But the final 9 months combined, if you count that as one total sum, being positive cash flows, and that is such a big deal because if you're a short and you go, man, if for a 9 month period they didn't lose any money and gained, you're starting to be in trouble as a short, because effectively, as AMC starts to have positive cash flows, now AMC has an infinite runway to grow and defeat the shorts. Not burning cash, not going bankrupt. That's always been what the shorts are trying to FUD you with. And I've been out here kind of helping you see, nope, that's not happening. So that is really cool to see still, that we have that, but not only that, but even better than what I've said in the past now with Taylor Swift. And then don't miss that I am saying, now look at the 3 question marks, right? So what I'm saying is this is tentative. I cannot say this with confidence. I'm asking a question. I'm wondering if we have a shot at positive net income if you combine those final 3 quarters. That's going to be a lot harder to pull off. We're going to have to see a lot of movies be big. We got Wicked, we got Zootopia, we got Avatar, now we got Taylor. There's a whole bunch of other movies that are pretty big. Go back and find my Q4 forecast video. Obviously, some things have changed since then, but it'll give you an idea. I do review in that video what I think the biggest movies of the quarter are. I think I did a top 15, so you can go back and look at that. But I think we have a shot at the final 3 quarters combined being positive net income. Can you imagine what that looks like if for the whole final 9 months of the year, AMC not only made cash in terms of cash flow, but perhaps makes money on earnings, the bottom line? That would be a big deal. So that's actually it for today. I want to just share a couple quick notes. One is I posted on X, just a reminder, my name is Eric Thompson. I've gotten a lot of new followers here on YouTube. I have published a book called Strong Like Wildflowers. I try not to share that too often so I don't get silly on you, but I am very proud of this, and honestly, it's a very positive, it's a work of fiction, it's a novel. I hope you'll take a look. I think it's very inspiring. It's got great reviews on Amazon. You can see the reviews. It's tracking above 4.5, which, generally they say if you're at least a 3 on Amazon, then you're doing all right. So if that's tracking above 4.5, then I'm pretty proud of this. This was a work I started actually writing this all the way back in 2019. This has just been something I'd done for a long time. I published this in 2023. Go take a look. There's a synopsis there on Amazon. You can check it out anywhere in the world that Amazon is. If Amazon's in your country, you can order this book. So would love any support. Take a look at that. And honestly, I hope that it kind of lifts you up and inspires you. Anyway, so last thing here and aside, I want to share a couple thoughts. Just obviously, it's been a heavy couple weeks. There's been big stuff going on. I kind of was posting a little today. Just don't worry here. First of all, I'm not going political. At least in this video, I'm definitely steering clear of that. But what I want to just encourage you all, whether it is with AMC, some of you are, GameStop, I've talked about strategy, I've talked about Bitcoin, whether it is in your personal life, whether it's in politics, all of that, just an encouragement to have things that are bigger than yourself. And these are the things that ground you and keep you focused and keep your eyes on these things. And so the first encouragement is get perspective, right? So this is a view of many galaxies. And if you ever go online, I encourage you to research, like, even just how big is the solar system within the Milky Way, which is within a cluster of galaxies, which is within a kind of a super cluster, which is one of many like, you can just try to picture how infinitely big the universe is and how tiny we are and how tiny our lives are as a blink in the span of sort of universal history. And so to some, maybe you'd say, geez, man, downer. But to me, that's actually a big encouragement, because it means I can let go of some of the heavier stuff, some of the junk, and then I can focus my mind, focus my heart, focus my eyes on things that are much bigger and of a much longer lasting impact. And now I want to even pause on that too and speak to, from time to time, word gets back to me that maybe people of influence hear my voice. And if you're hearing my voice, I want to call you in. Actually, you know what? Even I want to reword that, because everyone has influence. No matter who you are, if you're listening to this, you have influence. You have a sphere of influence of where you can impact the world around you, whether that's one person or 1 million people or whatever that looks like. You have influence. Don't sleep on that. And I want to just call you to think through using your influence for far greater and far longer lasting things, and to reject the pursuit of comfort over values. Because what happens is, I think there are people who trade away their values for a little bit of money, a little bit of power, just a little bit of safety, whatever it is for you. But the positive of all of that is you have the opportunity to put your thumbprint in the universe in ways that far outlast your time here. And so just put your eyes on that. I encourage you to just think about not trading away your values for comfort, and having values that are of far lasting impact. Now, the next thing I want to share, I'm gonna pop something up, and some of you are gonna go, "Oh, I don't want to go religious." I'm not going to go religious with this. I'm going to share this as a value. I think it's just widely accepted, whether you think Jesus is a religious figure or whether you think he's just some great wise teacher, that this was a man who had an impact on the universe, on the earth, certainly on humanity. And he was known for kind of saying there is something bigger than self, even bigger than Jesus himself. And maybe I laugh because it's like, what's bigger than that in terms of humans? Even if you don't want to view him as a religious figure, in terms of humanity, who's been bigger in terms of having an impact than him? And even his whole point of view was, I'm not here for self. I'm here for something bigger. I'm here to do the will of something, this creator God he believed in, that is something bigger than myself. And so I lay down the pursuit of self. I lay down the idea that I need to tear others down to build myself up. I lay down the idea that I'm going to pursue greed and getting things at the expense of others. And I'm doing the will of something bigger than myself. So that's why I just want to call that out. And again, especially to those who hold any kind of power, I want you to really think about whether you are utilizing that power for something bigger than self, and whether there are moments that are required to stand up and even stand out against things that are going to bite back at you. But because you're not living in fear and you're not living for the moment, you're living for something bigger. So enough preaching. You guys know what I believe. We will win. So let's go.